Ebook, physical book or audiobook? Is one really better than the other? Nah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. My name is Hannah and I am a thriller and horror author from the south of England. I make videos on writing, reading, marketing and research, so if that sounds like your cup of tea, please do subscribe. I was not planning on doing this video this week. Actually, I don't know that I was ever really planning to talk about this on this channel, but I went to see a friend a few days ago and I started talking about a book I was reading. I meant I was listening to it on Audible, and we had a quick chat about whether or not it was the same thing. Does it have the same value? What does it mean to listen to a book rather than to read it? So it kind of led me to think that we could chat about that on this channel. I found it really interesting, I've done some research, and I have some opinions. So yeah, let's get into it. Is there really a difference? Is one better than the other? Quick side note, any reports or articles that I talk about in this video, I will link in the description below. As always, I have left some updated links to BLM petitions and charities in the description as well, so please do check those out. So first up, physical books. According to the Pew Research Center in the USA, 65% of Americans read a physical book in 2019. That's down from around 70% in previous years. There are obviously lots of pros to reading physical books. You get to collect them, they make you look clever, they take up way too much room in your apartment. Maybe more importantly, you can physically see how much of the book you've got through and how much you've got left to read. Also, in an age where a lot of us do not a great deal besides staring at a device screen, it's really nice to switch off, throw the phone away for a bit and just focus on something that isn't technology. However, physical books do have drawbacks, right? They're big, hardbacks are a right pain even if they do look amazing, and they're totally inaccessible. So that brings us to ebooks. According to the same research as mentioned earlier, ebook popularity has sort of hovered around the 25% mark, though last year did see the first drop in popularity, I think since 2015. So it went from 27% to 25%. I remember when the Kindle first came out, lots of newspapers were reporting it as like the technological world taking over physical books, that the Kindle and ebooks would completely get rid of the need for physical books, and obviously that hasn't happened. Ebooks are great. I do read on my Kindle, but I also read books. I think that ebooks, if anything, have just serviced another area of the market rather than closing off customers that could potentially read a physical book. It's just giving us more options. The pros of ebooks I think are pretty clear. They're far more transportable, you can get hundreds of books on one device, so you don't have the issue of space. Obviously, they're marketed to people that travel a lot. Again, for the same reason, you don't have to lug around loads of hardbacks if you've got your Kindle. They're also quite cheap nowadays too. You can pick up one of the Kindles now for about 50 quid, I think. And also the books are quite often a bit cheaper, or they have big sales, so you can get kind of really big popular books for 99p, which makes them more accessible price-wise. On some e-readers, you can also have the book narrated to you, so you can have it narrated whilst you're reading it, which is a great accessibility tool. Last but by no means least, we have audiobooks. I would consider myself relatively new to audiobooks. I use Audible because my life is dictated to me by Amazon, and I've used it for around a year and a half. According to the Pew research mentioned earlier, the popularity of audiobooks has increased from 14% in 2015 to 20% in 2019. Deloitte, a massive consultancy and research firm, has also published a lot of stuff predicting that audiobooks will overtake ebooks by the end of 2020. The format has increased in popularity for children and young people by 138% in the last year alone. That's big. The biggest pro for audiobooks has got to be accessibility. Audiobooks are fantastic for those with limited sight, and also for those who lack confidence in reading. They're also great for multitasking, for people that are driving, maybe you're walking somewhere, doing household chores. They're great to have on in the background and consume a book in a totally different way. Research by the National Literacy Trust also shows that the rise of audiobooks has seen an increase in families listening to books together, which is frankly wonderful. So is there really a difference between reading and listening to a book? The National Literacy Trust mentioned a second ago did a load of research on this, which I've put in the description below, and their research showed that we use the same cognitive abilities to listen to a book as we do when we read it. So I guess no, there's no difference. The same research also shows that audiobooks improve general reading skills, mental well-being and emotional intelligence in young people. In my opinion, you're consuming the same story in whichever format is best for you to consume it in. We all learn in school that we don't all learn and retain information in the same way, so I don't really see what the difference is between your chosen format of reading a book. From a personal standpoint, I have thoroughly enjoyed my audiobook journey. However, interestingly, I have found that I find it much easier to listen to and retain information for non-fiction books. I don't struggle listening to fiction, but I think it might be something to do with the fact that you've got one narrator and lots of characters. I find it harder to discern between characters. Some narrators are obviously better than others, and I think that has a huge impact on the book and maybe your enjoyment of it. But for me personally, non-fiction is 100% the way to go on audiobook for me. I also find this interesting because I actually really struggle reading non-fiction. I get bored, I don't enjoy it in the same way. So having someone talk to me about that non-fiction topic is miles better. So is one format really better than the other? No, I don't think so. You're getting the same information regardless of how you choose to consume it. Reading is meant to be enjoyable, right? So if you enjoy using your ebook one day and then reading a physical book the next day and then listening to an audiobook a day after, just do that. One thing I would say though is if you are looking to publish your own work, definitely consider audiobooks. They are a hugely growing channel, especially for YA and children. They can widen your audience, and not to mention, of course, they make your work a whole lot more accessible to a huge amount of people. I have not yet got an audiobook for number 47. The main thing that stopped me from getting one is money, because it can get quite expensive. But as soon as I'm in a position to do it, I'm going to prioritise it. I'm really interested to hear how other people feel about this topic. Do you prefer reading in one medium over another? What's your favourite? Do you do a mixture of all three? Do you think that maybe one does have more merit than the other? I'd really love to hear. If you did enjoy this video, please do hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you later.